Hello everyone, I am Firdos Raza and welcome to my podcast. Well, this is a story of an illegitimate queen. When the world celebrated birthdays and anniversaries, I walked every street unfolding every thread attached to my surname. Every knot untied opened up to immense darkness and ignominy. I was 5, sitting outside a shabby little room on the 6th floor of a chawl, when an arrogant cop wearing uniform pants on a white vest ambushed. Clutch holding my mother's neck, choking her breathless, came out, yelling at her. My heart picked up speed. I tried to pull him down by his belt, but until I could hold him down, he plunged her down the bordello from 6th floor. My mother was lying on the floor in the pool of blood. The cop wore his shirt and threw me inside a room and walked away yelling, "Bloody whore," as nothing had ever happened. Since then, I walked as an orphan in whorehouse, feeding over leftovers until I was 15 years. I couldn't get over the nightmare, and never could I believe people who are the protectors of law can get over their crimes. My nightmare had just begun. I had been to a government school nearby and completed my 10th grade with flying colors. But who knew my ambitions of studying were getting shattered? They say the place where you live shows your character. Although this wasn't a heaven I was living in. This was a brotello, a whorehouse. This day had to come one day. Darkest and the scariest day of my life. I was lying in my room when I heard footsteps on the old wooden corridors. As the footsteps neared, I pulled up my blanket and clenched my legs, peeping from the corner of the blanket at the door, terrified, hoping the footsteps would pass by. But the door was kicked wide open. A man stood like a tower at my door. He entered, pulled my blanket and closed my mouth. Then he brutally raped me until I could figure out my condition. The man had just left the room, leaving me in sheer pain. The pain was so immense to handle that my tears couldn't stop flowing, and not even for a minute I could sleep the whole night. My whole life had shattered. I cursed for my existence. This wasn't enough in my life. Before even the dawn could bring hope in my life, 3 men entered my room and just lifted me up as if I was a gunny bag and walked through the balcony from 6th floor. I had made myself stiff and I couldn't even utter a word. I was dead, just trying to figure out what was happening. Until I could get my consciousness back, it was already 2 days past, and I was somewhere but nowhere to go. I was left alone in a luxurious room which I had just seen in movies. I was patiently waiting, looking at the door, waiting to crack the head of first person who enters the room. It wasn't easy, I suppose. Indeed, they put me as a showpiece in a closet of glass, in a colorful street of weird-looking people from I don't know which country. But our queen went rogue after that. To be precise, children who are born in brothel house have often led their lives in ignominy. Most of them are searching for their surnames, and rest of them stay in same dark place, thinking that it's their destiny. But our queen came out to be an example. Listen to her story in the next part. Stay tuned, follow and share my podcast. Do follow Firdos Raza on all the social media platforms. Thank you.